Hello Eurovision friends, thank you so much for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories. In this video today I want to talk about the 7 entries vying to represent Finland in Eurovision 2025. 3 things are going to happen in this video. First of all, I'm going to give you my own personal top 7. Then I'm trying to tell you who I think should represent Finland to achieve the best result for Finland in Eurovision. And then last but not least, I will give you my prediction on who will actually win the Finnish national final UMK, which has grown more and more popular over the years, it seems. I just checked the Spotify charts in Finland, and a lot of these songs are very high up already. And that's exactly what you want to achieve. You want the whole country to talk about your national final. And then in the end, the whole country will be behind your entry for Eurovision as well. Because how do you expect all of Europe to love your entry if you don't like it yourself? That is something that some other countries, including maybe my own Germany, have not quite understood yet. We have some changes this year, so hopefully that will change. Finland is Finlanding again, I think we can say, with these 7 entries, but let's have a look. I will give you my own personal top 7. Again, this is very subjective. If you have a different opinion, let me know in the comments. Do try to explain to me why you love the song, what maybe I have overlooked about these songs, instead of just saying I have no taste or something like that. So let's have a look. It was quite hard actually to rank these because some of them are quite similar after a few listens. I only listened for the first time this morning and listened to them 2 or 3 times until now. So this is my very first initial reaction. Of course, my top 7 can change with more listens as well. So in 7th place, I have Costee with Sekaisin. This sounds very much like Finnish pop. It reminds me of a lot of other singers like Benjamin, for example, in past years. He sings about being messed up about a lot of things and about one person in particular. And for these lyrics, the whole thing seems a bit too toned down. It's a bit uneventful as a song, I think, and it's also quite repetitive. And that's why it's my number 7 at the moment. But this could be a grower as well. Maybe in a few weeks, this will be higher up in my ranking. And a lot, of course, for these songs will depend on the staging as well. I don't really know how to stage this one to really make it pop more. Yeah, not sure. That's why it's my number 7 at the moment. In 6th place, I have One Morning left with Puppy. This is really Finlanding. This mix of hard rock, and then the chorus is more of a techno-y pop chorus in a way, quite catchy actually, which reminds me of Windows 95 Man in a way, the chorus especially, and the mix of hard rock and these techno pop elements remind me a little bit of Cadillac, so you kind of notice what they are trying to do. It's very fun that the topic of the song is playing with your dog and this nice fluffy dog, and then you have this really hard verses, especially when the main singer that you see there does his hard rock thing. Fun. This would do really well in the televote, but not well with the juries in Eurovision. And I don't know whether for the 3rd year in a row they will send something like this. It's kind of a reiteration of things we've already seen, and it's also not as original for that reason, or it doesn't feel as original for that reason. But still, it's my number 6, even though I don't really like these kinds of songs usually. In 5th place, I have Nellie Matula with Hittamin Hautaan, which I am probably horribly mispronouncing. Sorry, Finnish people, for all the mispronunciations in this video. However, later on, there's also a song mispronouncing German words in a way. We'll be talking about that in a second. So maybe that's par for the course a little bit. Still, sorry about it. This song has some schlagery elements. The beginning especially, it feels like this could easily be in Melodifestivalen. I think the beat and the production makes this sound more modern than it actually is, in a way. The topic of the song is quite cool. It's about taking your time in a busy world. She says, you're running, you can run, run, run. I'm going to be looking at the clouds, which is a good message. But the song itself is a bit uneventful. Not that much is changing in the tempo, in the structure of the song. So it's a good enough song, but nothing stands out really. Her voice also doesn't stand out all that much yet. We will see in the live version. There's a lot of production in these songs, in the Finnish songs, especially with the voices. So maybe the live versions will be very different in the end. In fourth place, I have Neea River with Nightmares. This is the first song that I listened to, actually. It's about coming out of a dark time. You were down, now you're not anymore. You don't want to have any nightmares anymore. It's interesting that the focus of the song is really on the dark times, but the message is that you're not in them anymore. You're not suffering through them anymore. Unfortunately, I think that there are some grammar issues in the song, like 3 or 4 sentences are not exactly 100% correct English. Very unfortunate. I don't understand. I never understand why that happens. It sounds a bit techno, 90s, 2000s, but still, because of the very modern production, this still sounds modern and it sounds more like a retro song from this year, kind of an homage to the 90s, 2000s techno songs. Very good production, as I said, and I think she has a very good voice, even though there are lots of effects on it. So I do quite like this song, and I think it might be a grower. In third place, I have Erika Vikman with Ich komme. I guess you guys want to know what the German guy thinks of the song with the German title. I think that, and I have to repeat that this is my personal subjective opinion. Most of you probably have this at number 1. I think this is a big fan favorite, but I will let you know why it's my number 3. Musically, this is really cool, very much Finlanding in a way, and also very Eurovision-y, the kind of song you don't really hear that much outside of Eurovision maybe, but I love the contrast between the choir effect of the Ich komme, of this big choir singing that part of the chorus, and then she answers it. I also love the tempo change at the end. Very cool and lots of potential for the stage show. It's very catchy. A lot of stuff is happening in the song. You don't get tired of it. It keeps you engaged. Now you might ask, why on earth is it just number 3 if you like it so much? My main problem with this are the lyrics. I think they are very crass and way too direct. When I first saw the title, I thought maybe this is like a double entendre thing, and this is gonna be very fun lyrics with a double entendre throughout the song. But as far as I understand the translation and the German title, Finnish people, let me know if there is something more to it. It feels very direct, too direct for me, and that's why it is my number 3. Still, I can see why a lot of people love this, but it's just too much for me, too direct. Yeah, that is it. Don't hate on me. Let me know in the comments why you like the song. I expect a lot of people to really like it. My second place is Goldielocks with Made Of. I think this is the most chart-friendly song of the 7, the most current sounding as well. This could easily be on the charts in lots of countries, which sometimes in Eurovision is a plus, sometimes it makes it a bit boring, but in this case I really do like it, mainly because of her. I think she seems to have a lot of charisma that she can bring across on stage, hopefully as well. Her voice is incredibly unique as well. A very interesting vocal tone. She sounds a bit like Sia, I think, and that gives the whole thing a whole different feeling as well. The topic of the song is kind of conflictive feelings in a relationship, also quite good. The chorus is very catchy. This special voice is mostly in the verses, but the chorus is then very catchy, and I also like the hook that you have, what are you made of, at the end of the chorus, which is just another way to remember the song. And it's quite easy to remember the song, which is a very good thing for Eurovision. Now, if you know the 7 songs, you already know that my number 1 is VIIVI with Aina. If you've been to this channel, you know I like ballads, I like national languages, and we have both of these things in this entry. I think it is a very beautiful, quite simple melody, but very effective. I think it's a bit catchy as well, especially for a ballad. It's very sweet. Everything about it is sweet. Her voice, the melody, the lyrics as well. She sings about how she is missing someone very, very much. And everything that she does and everything in the world just feels weird and borrowed in a way. The whole song feels a bit like a trance, like a lullaby as well. There's a key change at the end, which is really cool and keeps you engaged. Otherwise, it might have been a bit too boring in some parts. So it's a very modern pop ballad, and especially this modern instrumentation and also the production makes this sound like 2025. So yeah, I really like the song. I do understand that Maybe some people think it's too boring, but this is right up my alley, and that's why it is my number 1. Now, who should win UMK to give Finland a good result? I think if the main interest for Finland is to make it to the final, they should probably send One Morning Left with Puppy, because the televote will love this. The semifinals, of course, this year again are only televote, no juries. But then in the final, if it makes it to the final, this would probably be butchered by the juries. I also think that Goldielocks might be a good compromise between what the televoters like, which is a modern catchy pop song, but this might also be a big favorite of the juries because of the very modern production, her very unique voice, the charisma that she oozes, at least in the music video. So that might be a good choice. I also think that VIIVI with Aina might be a good choice because maybe there won't be that many ballots in the final this year. Again, the semifinals are completely televote. This is a good enough ballot to make it to the final, I think. And then there it could get a lot of jury votes because of her great voice and also the fact that it's a modern production. It's a ballad. The juries usually go for that. So that might be a good choice. But I have to recognize, even though I personally think it's a bit too much, that Ich komme by Erika Vikman will definitely qualify to the final, I would say. And there it will get lots of televote points and then maybe a lot of juries. Maybe they don't understand the lyrics because they're in Finnish and German. So lots of people might not understand what the song is about, even though the stage show might be very obvious. So I think televoters could go for this. Maybe juries could go for this because of the interesting musical structure. Not as much probably, but that might also be a good choice for Finland. If it were up to me, I would probably choose Goldielocks for Eurovision. Now, who will win UMK? I think the most obvious choice would be Erika Vikman. She's right now number 1 in Spotify. I think she's leading the odds by quite a lot. And it's a catchy song. Some people might like the direct message that is in there. We shall see. Maybe that will be the winner of UMK. Who do you think will win? Who do you think should win? And what is your top 7? What is your favorite in the Finnish national final? Let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching. And I'll see you for my next video. Do subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. See you then and bye-bye.